hanging out in the Topeka parking lot. We camped here last night, just like we did last time. And Waz is giving me shit for wearing a beanie with shorts. Like what? Are you kidding me?
Yum.
So this is Topeka Coffee and how they treat their touring acts. Like, both times that we've shown up here, we have gotten fed so well. And I'm so thankful. And this is the reason that we come on the road. Because there's so much love out there that you need to discover. Bye, Colorado. We're just driving along and we're coming up on this bend and there's a view area exit. And I'm like, this looks so familiar. Like I've been here before. I don't know. The flies are crazy right now. Just open the door for 5 seconds. But yeah. So we're pulling up to this place, and on our first trip ever out west, we just busted as hard as we could, driving massive jumps each day to get all the way to LA. And on that trip, we were hitting sunset at this exact moment, but that curve still looked the exact same to me. And lo and behold, we're here. So we're gonna check it out in the daylight. Harleysville. No smoking. It's going. It's going.
Oh shit. Look at this texture. Fucking crazy.
So beautiful out here. Waz here. Waz here. Last tour, I stepped up onto a redwood in the national forest and my initials were on it, right where I was standing. Now, we found Waz here. I didn't realize how far over I was from you.
What?
Waz here.
Are you even sure that little guy in St. Joe?
Uh-huh. Hey. He's peeking over the bench.
Okay, I don't really know if you're gonna be able to see it that well, but just a few days prior to seeing that Waz here, at St. Joe Skate Bar, they have, I guess it's not St. Joe anymore, it's Kansas City Skate Bar.
City.
They have like a big chalkboard wall with chalk, so I drew this little guy. I don't even know if I'm like on the screen. But then to like see that little guy with his nose and his little hands all peeking around just felt super strange. Like I had been there before and didn't even know.
At a random skate park in Provo. You can see the massive Y on the mountain back there. You know where that is. Young. Anywho, Waz is back here shaving her legs. Because that's tour rat life. I was looking at the trash can over there and there's a sticker on it that says the Feral Kids and it had a flower coming out of it. Load in.
Great.
day that we pulled into Salt Lake City for the show, the wildfire smoke was like starting to roll in.
When we were at the skate park.
Yeah. So like before the show.
When we were, what is that city? The one
Provo?
Yeah, when we got to Provo, it was already rolling in. Over the valley, it was just like, you could see it getting choked above the valley.
And at first we were like, why is the smog so bad? And we were like Googling, we're like, what the fuck is going on in Salt Lake City, Provo right now? And then we realized that it was actually filtering from the wildfires. So when we left the next day after the show, we were driving through Idaho, like specifically Boise. It was so bad, like just straight fog everywhere from the smoke. And then, what?
It wasn't fog, it was smoke everywhere.
Okay, smoke. Smoke from the smoke. Then we get to North Bonneville, which is where Mindy lives. And before we got there, we were texting because I was like, how bad is it there? And she said not too bad. And it actually wasn't. It lifted a little bit by the time we got to her. But you can like see it in the distance. Just like
across the river.
Yeah, hanging over. Could smell it a little bit. It smelled like campfire. But I think when we left is when like it started rolling in over her a little bit more. Well, we've been in the car for
7 hours.
7 hours. Still have 4 hours to go.
And 3.5.
3.5.
We are in Oregon though. We are officially at the closing of the Oregon Trail. We're fucking pioneers. So I'm like, hey, I want to do my nails. And Waz is like, well, can we just go do it over here at this picnic table? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
Popcorn.
Hey, we're in Hood River, stopping for some greenery at our favorite Frontier Farms. There's a Waz. Greenery acquired. I am in North Bonneville, Washington. Just broke out the AeroPress with my holy cacao syrups because we are on the road and I brought the coffee shop with me. It was the most delicious espresso drink I have had since I left Indiana. And that's saying something, guys, all over America. Your coffee sucks. Fort Cascades National Historic Site.
Ooh, careful, those look. Cascades of the Columbia River was the last major difficulty settlers faced during the westward migration. Look at these chains that were blacksmith. That's wild. Olympia, Washington, we had been looking forward to this tour date since we booked it. And the town itself was fucking cool, but specifically Rhythm's Coffee, it felt like stepping into our world, but like...
It was home away from home.
Yeah, it was, home away from home, but like 10 years into the future looking at ourselves. I don't know, it was really strange, but it was a really cool space to be in. One of our favorite shows that we've had in a long time.
So where are we at?
Rhythm's Coffee. Olympia, Washington.
Sit there. There's a black kitty on the wall over there. Fucking gorgeous out.
finally, I don't know, you can see some sky, but it's still been smoky as hell from those wildfires and from my wildfires. Of what a bustling is like.
Expand your spiral to the peaks of the Twitter's reach. You receive the lesson of life. 来自好大的味，光夹子那大的 magazine put me on the cover, please.
Alice, your cards are bigger than your cup. Is it my turn? Let's do a recap. I'm walking by, I'm like, ooh, look at that. And she's like, what? I don't see anything. Are you kidding me? You don't see this waxed ledge right here? That's what skateboarders see.
This is what WaZeil sees. Japanese maple leaves, okay? Those are beautiful on fabric. My name is WaZeil. Hello. Those little flowers, I think they're called like snapdragons or something. I used to have those in my yard growing up at like my old childhood home. So like when I lived there up until 3rd grade. And we used to make little puppet shows with those. So like seeing the little flowers took me back for a second.
It's lunchtime in Olympia. We got sriracha flavored baked tofu from TJ's with some almond wraps and some triple washed lettuce. Ooh.
Mango juice.
Delicious.
So after we left Olympia, we kind of just like bopped around to the, oh, someone's calling. Oh, Chino, California.
Wait. We gotta skip back before. We gotta talk about our sleeping suggestions. So
Sleeping suggestions?
when we were at Rhythms the night before, we were gonna leave the venue and we're like, hey, where do you think that we should park the van for this evening? And they're like, shit, what the fuck was that place called?
Sugar Mountain?
Sugar Mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sugar Mountain, right? Okay. They're like, it's just, you get on X Road and it's just outside of town. It's a spot where people go ride ATVs and it's free land for that kind of thing. No one should bother you out there if you're just staying the night.
There's a parking lot out there. You can just park. No issues. Just roll up. It's free.
Very,
all right.
Very sketched out by this, driving out in the middle of nowhere and just parking, right? But, all right, we'll do it. It's dark out. So we start going down this lane, and the next thing you know, you see this camouflaged RV. I mean, it has got camo all over it, things stacked up against it to hide it in the woods, and a car backing out, leaving from there. And we pull into the parking lot. There's another truck just sitting, idling, just watching the lot.
No lights on, just like
Just
the
creeping.
like the little fog, yellow
Just
lights.
creeping.
in
And
the
then
front.
a couple more cars are coming back and forth from that RV.
Just
And then we realized that Walter White was hanging out at Sugar fucking Mountain and that it was not a safe place to stay the night. So we started the van and drove the fuck on back out there.
where did we end up parking that night? I can't remember.
Was it a Planet Fitness or
I
something?
think it might have been.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, because then the next morning we woke up and like wandered around Olympia for a while,
Yeah.
and then we left from there.
Man, when you blow up from a small town that treats you like shit and then die, and then they just use that as a way to monopolize on you.
It seriously feels like after we left Olympia, it was kind of like a few days off, so we kind of like coastal town hopped. But before we got too far, we wanted to go to Aberdeen, right? Aberdeen, which is the home place of Kurt Cobain. And they had on the map like a memorial park for him. So like we were gonna go check it out and see where he came from. And the whole thing was super surreal. I don't know. I guess like driving into Aberdeen felt like a little bit bigger version of Attica. So like it wasn't that big. It was like a little rundown. Like some parts looked like they were trying to maintain it and upkeep it, but like not very much of it. Just a lot of like abandoned businesses and like small town vibes. I don't know. Like something about it was a little off. But yeah, the memorial park was like essentially underneath a bridge where I guess after reading, he was homeless for a while and lived under the bridge on and off. So yeah, it was super strange. And I guess like coming from Attica, knowing that like you're not always accepted if you're an oddball and if you're living on the fringe. So then like to see his hometown and like how they were celebrating him now.
While you drive into the town and there's a massive sign that says "Come as you are."
When like he couldn't come as he was. I don't know, the whole thing felt fucking weird. There was a house next to the bridge and they had like a big sign in the front yard and it was like, "No, I didn't know Kurt Cobain, but the neighbor did, and don't park on my lawn," and like had all these like written out rules on like this big wooden board. It was so weird. I don't know. It's cool to see it, but like definitely left there having some odd feelings about the whole thing for sure. Are you disassociating because you need lunch? Are you disassociating because you need lunch?
It's just, I mean, we're talking about some sad shit. Like, all I can think about is the fact that I was respectful enough to park down the street because I could see that this was a residential neighborhood that they had just put a park within, and yet you've got the Tesla that rolls up to the people's house that you're talking about that's like, "No, I don't know Kurt Cobain, please leave us alone, give us privacy," and yet you're parking right up on them as they're trying to stand out in the street and work on their car.
Yeah.
And coming from a small town, like I get that those people are just real fucking people trying to live their lives, and you've got people, even us, showing up and walking past their house to go give respect to this other person that blew up and got famous, but they're like having to struggle with this, like, we aren't famous, we're just fucking normal people, and yet you're bothering us just so you can go piss on somebody's fucking grave with some whatever tribute that you're trying to do.
So weird.
When really it's like the most sad place to visit because that person was trapped under that bridge and feeling some kind of way.
Definitely. I mean, underneath the bridge there was like still a mattress and like a few belongings, so like it's actively still being used as safe coverage for someone. Okay, I just feel like maybe the coffee was too much this morning. I feel like I'm still got the jitters. It's been like 6 hours.
It's crazy. I want looks like our house. Well, we went to Roswell and didn't find aliens, but we found them in Astoria.
Oh, I'm seeing this.
I will always catch that.
Always.
Always. Salmon.
I would not.
Like the details. Imagine caring that much about making something. This one's a little more full.
Okay.
Toilet? Why does it kind of look like an alien? So, welcome to Camp WaZuAZ. Welcome to the living room. There's the bedroom.
Welcome to hell.
We're always in hell.
Do you remember when we rolled up to this place and we pulled up next to the family?
What about them?
I think they'd been there for a while because like they were all spread out and there was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 tents all around, and like we pulled up in our van. We're like,
Our rusty van.
they were all like huddled around the fire. They were doing.
It was like the perfect family
I know.
outing with like the entire family, like even the ones that don't live in your household. You know, it was like Home Alone. All the families got together to go camping.
Yep.
Perfect.
So yeah, we rolled up in our van and definitely interrupted because they were like.
Your cold ass hands up.
They were side-eyeing us so hard, like we were suspect or something. I'm like, look, we're trying to do the same damn thing you are. We just have a roof over our head. You're in a tent.
Taking a trip down the Hollywood Strip. Can you put my name in the route? Put my name in the last day, and Mr. and Mrs. You've been cordially invited to hang with the most high-end in the soca leaf environment. Leaning to the Reno like a going brother flowing through the lobby of the Roosevelt, fear and loathing, and I like hand in hand we stumble through the back door. What's the bell out for direction? Forgot to mention he didn't work there. I'd like to apologize for all